Cancel.
Schweezy.
So that's not all I've done today. Fuck, I know I'm emo. But no, I want to talk about The Price is Glee. I booted up my Discovery Plus subscription, and I was looking for something to watch. And they showed me The Price of Glee. Now, The Price of Glee is very interesting because I watched Glee. I watched Glee in high school. I graduated high school in 2012. Did not keep up with it after that. That's like basically it had to be by the time I ended high school because I was only really because it started maybe my sophomore. It started my sophomore year, and I didn't watch it past high school. So yeah, it was on at the same time as The Office too, which is weird because in The Office they have a Glee watching party. Such weird shit. But anyways, though, Glee. I hate to have to say it, but Glee has made an impact on my life. It's not like I'm in love with the show or anything, but when I was in, when I was in middle school, up until Glee started existing, like doing music, if you're a guy who's like into music and, that's all it is. Like you're in band, you do choir in high school, like maybe you're really into guitar, you're not really into sports, what does the school have for you after that, And so you have to and so when you're a kid who does music, you're just seen as weird or a nerd and stuff like that. And like people think you're weird and like, especially I grew up in the middle of fucking nowhere, Midwest. And it's just like being more into music and not doing any sports is just weird to a lot of people. So when Glee came along, it legit just fucking changed everything and made like, hey, if you're in choir, that's cool. That's the thing you like. It's cool. If you're in band, hey, you like doing band. Band's cool and stuff like that. And band also has its own subculture as well, which with the internet has gotten more popular. Stuff like that, like now. But if you talk about and I have friends like maybe 3-4 years older than me, technically they were in high school a little bit of time before me. They're like, yeah, if you're in choir or in band, like you just got beat up, you're a nerd. That's what happens, It's the shit that happens. It's weird. But then Glee, the fucking show Glee comes on Fox. And everyone thinks like band is cool now, playing music is cool, and like doing singing and doing show choir is cool. It just happened out of nowhere. It's crazy. So it's so weird because like I started with the notion of like, if you like music, you're gay. Like if you're a guy and you like music, you're gay. If you're a guy and sing, you're gay. It's like that's just how it is. Josh, don't quote me, please. But then like Glee came along, it's like, oh, it's actually cool to sing. It's no big deal. So like jocks were just like, you know what? I like singing. I'm gonna join choir and stuff like that. And I was in high school. I'm like, it's so weird to think about that because you're just assuming like if you're not musical, then I mean, you're straight, and you get to hang out with straight people. That's how it is. But then Glee came along. It was just so fucking weird how big of a change it was to like, oh, hey, I like music and I like singing, and you know what? If it's embarrassing, I'll do it anyways. To like, yeah, it's cool to sing now. It's just so fucking weird. It's so fucking weird. And I have some friends older than me, just because I was in high school, like mid Glee. Like they're just like, I can't believe like popular kids are in like choir now. Like it's just so fucking weird. So I don't know how to live life on that occasion, but yeah. But anyways, though, and like no, I visit. Like I've been visiting some local high schools. My old high school, I visited. It's been a while actually since I visited, but I also don't need to because it's not making me money. Like just talking about it, it's like a lot of guys like they're in classes. They started a guitar class at my high school now, and like a lot, guitars, guys can like guitar, and it's weirdly equally women and men, or at least the male and the female genders. There might be some non-binaries I didn't notice. In both classes, it's weird. And then choir, the choir's not lacking in boys. It's not lacking in boys for a long time since Glee made singing cool. Anyways, though, I want to talk about apparently the Glee curse is what this documentary talked about. It basically, if you're associated with Glee, there is a curse. Now, not everyone has the curse, but you can get the curse because you worked on this show. And that's like the big thing. So, anyways, though, they do talk a lot about a lot of behind the scene set people who did die. Like, a lot of them were the unalivings, which were not cool. Unaliving is not cool, fellas. You're not even a rascal. You're a ne'er-do-well if you're into suicide. But, like, there's a lot of staff members that like that. And I didn't remember their names because I'm going to be honest with you. I want people to listen to this. I'm not going to, like, do that. But it's bad that people behind the scenes were not notably going to be the starring act, died because of like the stress of this job or the imposable curse on this job. So there's a lot of behind the scene people. They really focused on 3 people, but with one kind of being something. Corey Monteith is the first one. So I remember that. It was 2013. It was my summer after my freshman year of college, and that's when he passed away. And I'm like, I wonder how Glee is going to return after this. And I did not think about Glee for a long time. Years passed before I thought about Glee again. And, and I was like, and I remember a friend telling me, he's like, I'm like, I don't feel sorry, but like at the same time, it's bad that he died. But like, basically, there's a conspiracy behind his death. But basically, what seems like the most logical, I'm going to talk about first. Then I'll go into the conspiracy theories. Kind of reverse of a reverse clickbait here, if you want to talk about that. He basically what happened, the real story. So Corey was not like a musician. He wasn't a singer. He wasn't a Broadway kid. He wasn't an actor. He basically is like the idea of just like some random guy from nowhere becoming a movie star. Basically like that. So basically he was tossed in the room with that. And so he got this role on Glee. Now, at first you think it's an acting job. So, there's long hours and there's stuff like that goes on with it. But you can live, you can survive and stuff like that. You can live with the stress, assuming the situation, it's a good situation. Basically he had that. But he also had to learn music. Like, get in mind, like, he's not a professional singer. Like, the thing, like, the real thing with professional singers is not like, oh, I can play this song. It's, oh, I can play this song even though I did not know it 30 minutes ago. I can play this song now. That's the thing with a professional musician. And, the Broadway kids go with that, like, yep, we rehearse it, we're good. But, like, as a normie in the music industry, like, in music shit like that, it's pretty fucking rough, dude. So I feel for him there. So he had that. So he had music stuff. That means he had to learn songs. He had to learn how to sing songs. He had to go into the studio, record songs. And if the studio, the producer's like, we got to get this so fucking perfect, it could take a while there. Like, especially if you're like Corey Monteith. And I say this in a way that he did a good job, but didn't know what he was doing. In a sense, it's just like, like for me, it's like, hey, I need you to play bass for me. 3 songs, here are the songs, learn those bass parts for me. It's like, it's pretty quick. I can probably learn it maybe an hour. Like, the 3 songs, I could probably learn in an hour. That's easy in an hour. But if you're not like that, I've been doing this my whole life. And since I'm 13 and I'm almost 30. Like, a guy like Corey Monteith is just going to struggle. And I feel so bad for him. And so, like, people assume because of that stress. Oh, and don't forget he's an actor on top of a musician. Like, and, like, just filming things, it's like one camera. And you're like, hey, you notice in a scene when it's, like, one person's face and there's another person's face. And it's both of them staying together, then behind one's back and at different angles. Those were all shot like, different times. So that's, like, doing the same scene, like, 13 times maybe, or whatever, however many a director needs. And it's like, you do that, and it's just, to get through, like, even, like, a 15-minute short film takes a long time to make. And, like, you're talking about episodes of stuff. Pretty fucking crazy. So, basically, people are like, okay, he went back to drugs because of the stress, and then he overdosed in a motel. That's basically how we talk about Corey Monteith. And, and I generally just fall with that, it makes sense because I understand the stress of, like, what he would have to do. And people are like, oh, that makes, if you know what you're doing, you're good. I'm like, yeah, if you know what you're doing, you can handle doing that. It's basically like drinking. You built up a tolerance to be able to do that. Basically, like, go in, learn a song, learn choreography, start filming scenes, go into the studio, record. It's like, that stuff is just vicious. And so I believe that. Other people believe there's a conspiracy theory here that someone got to him and they used that he was actually been cleaned for a long time, because no one ever seemed that he was in a bad mood or like was in bad condition or whatever. So there's a theory about that, but I don't know what to do. I don't know what to tell you, unless I get some good evidence, But the weird thing was, like, Lea Michele was like, she was given 3 options. So given the options, so you could take, So here are these options that Lea Michele took. So, like, okay, we can take a hiatus from the show, maybe like 6 months or whatever, then we can come back, and then figure out everything from here. Just make things good. Another option is we just cancel the show altogether because, can we do a show without Finn? That was the other option. And the other option, so it's cancel the show, take a hiatus. The third option, just go on with our normal schedule. So it's like a week or so after he passed away, and then everyone comes back and like feel awkward. That's what Lea Michele chose, and she got to choose that because I think at that point she was the star of the show, which was so. The hiatus is the perfect answer. If they wanted to continue the show, the hiatus was the perfect answer, not continue going. So then apparently it got weird. I was not watching the show at this point. At this point, I think the show died with Cory Monteith. And then they kind of, because you're following a group of kids and they graduate high school and they try to add new people into the group, and it just doesn't, it doesn't work the same. It's like, oh, I like these. It's like people realize that you like a show because of characters.
This is the type of guy you get.
So, you have to really follow that as well. So, that's the thing with Finn, and that's the weird thing with Lea Michele. And also, can Lea Michele read? The answer is we don't know, but it still could be a yes. It's like we don't know, but it could be a yes still. It's like you can't say no specifically. That is correct. This guy, Mark Salling. He played Puck on the show. He is a rascal. This dude is a rascal. If you wonder about him, he played Puck, and basically it seemed like the personalities of every character on the show was the writer's room took the personalities of every character. They didn't write those characters and just wrote them how they are and how they would interact in real life if they were in high school together. And this dude, he's he fucks anything. He likes underage girls. He got a girl pregnant in high school. That's what on the show. Even on the show, they had a weird childborn thing because he was making a sex tape with another 17-year-old, just to make it not feel weird. But anyways, though, they based the character way too hard off Mark.
Come on, Mark, don't be stingy.
Good, we got the opportunity to use it, and it's crazy. And basically, if you don't know what Mark Salling did, he has one allegation of beating the shit out of an ex-girlfriend. And he was caught with child porn, so it's not a good guy, anyways. He unalived himself, he unalived himself, and that's not funny. Don't laugh. Unaliving yourself is not funny. But I kind of understand why, and people are saying it's the Glee curse. I think it's something very dark, and I don't want to get into it. But our third character in the story is Naya Rivera. She played that one character. I can't remember. But she was gay with the other cheerleader and stuff like that. But it was really cool. Santana, that's what she played. I'm fucking stupid.
That's rough, buddy.
But so we got that. And she, basically what happened, from what I'm reading here, she's on a boat with her child, and they got caught in a rip current, struggled to get back to the boat. She mustered up enough energy to save her child, but then died in the process. But some people think it could be a little foul play because she was a really good swimmer. I don't know.
That's rough, buddy.
That's all I can say in regards to that. It was like that. I hope no one tried to kill her, stuff like that. That wouldn't be cool, especially with your child. But anyways, though, Glee curse, is it real? I don't fucking know. Don't ask me. I will not give you a good answer. And that's the way it is. Hey there, you just checked out a highlight from Cancel Schweezy. Thank you very much. I'm glad that you learned something and that you are now a smarter individual. Just so you know, we have full episodes and other many highlights available now. Click here for the next best thing that you can go check out as well. And make sure you press that subscribe button and press that notification bell. That way you get updated anytime we make a new post or anytime that we make a new highlight or full episode. So thank you, honk if you love butt drugs, and stay awesome.